Hi there, welcome back, and the purpose of today's video is the start of a new series. Now I'm going to have to be a bit careful here because I'm going to end up eventually with more series than Last of the Summer Wine, but what I've done is I've decided to go onto World of Spectrum, click the random game button 5 times and see what it throws out. Now thank you to Jarspoon on YouTube for the suggestion to try these random games. So we're going to see whether or not we win turds or goldfish at this particular fun fair. Right, the first game that came out was Vendetta from System 3. This is a 1988 release. No, it's not. It's a 1990 release, and it received a Crash Smash in the July 1990 issue of Crash. Now, it's kind of like you play this kind of like rogue soldier, and your brothers created some kind of super virus or something like that. Some suitably random weird plot, and you've got to wander around solving the puzzles, collecting items, etc. Now graphically it's really well presented, but there's one or two glitches in it for me that I find quite annoying, in that to pick things up you've got to be very precise, and to find things nothing's particularly well signposted, and I had to use a walkthrough just to get this far. Now there is some driving bits in this game, and I'm led to believe that they're really good, but I didn't get that far because to be honest I found the game got a bit tedious a bit quickly. But very nice presentation, not much sound to speak of, but that's Vendetta finished with. So we now move on to game number 2 from the World of Spectrum Random 5s, and we have Snake. Now if you had a Nokia 3210 like I did, and a 3310, and most Nokia phones up until they sort of went onto the Lumia things, then you'll be familiar with Snake. Now this is a little bit different. Obviously there were no platforms in the mobile phone game version of it that I can recall, but the basic mechanic is the same. You've got to go around collecting things and trying not to turn back on yourself or hit the walls, otherwise you will die. Now this wasn't a retail release. This appeared on the Your Sinclair Digitape in 1986, written by Robert Stockton. Now again, I've said this before in videos, sometimes the games with the very simplest of designs are actually the most fun to play, and I'm going to sort of let the cat out of the bag a little bit and say that out of the 5 that were selected, although this is by far the most basic, it's the one that I spent the most time on, because as you all know, I am the world's most hopeless game player, and games that are easy to pick up and play and don't require too much brain power appeal to me greatly, and Snake is one of them. It's still a bit fiendishly difficult on later stages, but it's a really nice little game. Now Snake ends and we go on to a sort of relatively new territory for me, in that we get an adventure game. I've never covered an adventure game before. I did have some of them, but not many of them. They weren't my particular genre of choice. I didn't enjoy that many of them, but we get to this Hobbit parody, The Boggit, from CRL in 1986, created by Delta 4 Software, and it's written in Quill, and this received a Crash Smash in September 1986, issue number 32 of Crash, and it is basically just a piss take of The Hobbit, as you can see as you go through it. You know, you get Grandalf bursting through the windows to the milk tray man theme, leaving boxes of exploding chocolates which you've got to go and flush down the bog quickly. Now as I said, I never got on particularly well with adventure games. I did buy the Graphic Adventure Creator, and I still have that, in the hope that I could turn myself into some kind of computer games designing whiz kid. It never bloody worked. I loaded it up, lasted about 10 minutes, couldn't understand a thing I was doing, and left it at that, and I've never loaded it up since. Now the good thing, it's puerile, I know, but you can swear at the Boggit and it will swear back at you or answer back at you, which, you know, very quickly, as you will see, I degenerate into. I apologise for that, but it just appeals to my silly sense of humour. And I think there was one game that I played, I think it was Hampstead or Sherlock Holmes, where if you tried entering a swear word, after only a couple of goes it would crash the game. It'd say, right, we're not playing with you anymore, blah blah blah, you're too you're too filthy. So there we go. I've told it to piss off, and it said it won't. And yeah, okay. Yes, we go blind. Yes, don't do that. Go to hell, straight to hell. Get hairy hands. Right, the next one thrown out by the random button was Underground. Now, I can't find a bloody thing out about this game. It's a Spanish game. It's released in 1988 by System 4 Software. As is the case with most Spanish games, if you check out my best Spanish ZX Spectrum games, they look utterly fantastic. But they're incredibly hard, and all it is with the Spanish people, they superb game players to be able to put up with games of this difficulty level. Now, I am hamstrung with Underground in that I can't speak a bean of Spanish. I couldn't understand the instructions. It was quite comedic trying to redefine the keys. I had to do it about 3 or 4 times before I got left, right, up, down, and jump in the correct order. But the graphics in this are really, really nice. Very, very atmospheric. I mean, look at the sort of status bar at the bottom of the game screen, as well as the sort of the main action itself. The main sprite is really, really nice and full of character, kind of like a flying bush baby sort of type thing. Anyway, that's the penultimate game. Now let's move into the final one on the World of Spectrum Random 5's Volume 1 video. This is Strontium Dog: The Killing. Now, this was released in 1984 by Consults Notes Quicksilver, and is based on characters from the 2000 AD comic strip, which I have no clue about. But I am led to believe Spectrum games that also came from that universe were Judge Dredd, which I have reviewed some months back, which was a bit of a pile. Nemesis the Warlock, Slain, and a couple of others. Now, this didn't fare very well in the gaming press at all. Crash Only Rate gave it an overall rating of 42% in their February 1985 issue. The premise of it is kind of like you've got to go around this sort of maze, and all these murderers and criminals and stuff that are sort of like locked up, you've got to sort of kill them. And it's kind of like a Running Man type thing. But anyway, I've rabbited on far long enough again. So this video is going to draw to a conclusion, and I'm going to end as ever by saying thank you ever so much for watching it. If you like it, please let me know. If you have any suggestions for things you'd like to see me try in different videos, then please let me know. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. It'd be great to see you and interact with you. Now, it's coming up to the weekend. Enjoy it, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.